I'm getting word right now from sources deep within the Los Angeles Rams organization that the wait is finally over for the blue and gold. This is the news every single fan in Southern California and across the globe has been waiting to hear as we transition into the most critical part of the NFL calendar. This is a massive Schefter bomb dropping right on your doorstep today. The star wide receiver, the man who provides that elite vertical threat and veteran leadership, is officially back in the building and ready to suit up for the wild card weekend. This isn't just a rumor. This is the reality the Rams are operating under as they prepare for a high-stakes postseason run. Before we dive into the intricate details of how this return happened and what the medical staff saw in those final evaluations, I need everyone watching to take a quick second to support the channel. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button right now to stay updated on every single Rams development as they chase another Super Bowl ring. Also, make sure to smash the like button on this video to show your support for the team's playoff push. And finally, I want to hear from the Ramily. Drop a comment below letting me know exactly which city you are watching from today. Whether you are in Los Angeles, St. Louis, or watching from overseas, let us know where the Rams fans are loudest. Now, let's get into the heart of this story. Sources tell me that the star wide receiver has been working around the clock with the team's elite training staff to overcome the hamstring and knee issues that sidelined him for the final 3 games of the regular season. There was a lot of concern within the facility that these soft tissue injuries might linger into January, which would have been a catastrophic blow to Sean McVay's offensive architecture. However, the reports coming out of the latest practice sessions are nothing short of spectacular. I'm told he looked fluid, explosive, and most importantly, pain-free during his private route running drills. The Rams have been very secretive about this process, often conducting these sessions behind closed doors to keep their wildcard opponent in the dark. But the word is out now. The impact of having a veteran of this caliber back on the field cannot be overstated. We saw during those final 3 weeks how the offense struggled to find a consistent rhythm in the red zone and on third downs. The lack of that X-factor receiver allowed opposing secondaries to bracket other targets and bring more pressure on the quarterback. With a star wide receiver back, that entire defensive strategy has to be thrown out the window. My sources indicate that the decision to sit him during the regular season finale wasn't just about his current health, but about ensuring he was at 100% for this exact moment. The Rams front office and coaching staff took a calculated risk, essentially betting that they could navigate the end of the season without him to ensure he was the healthiest version of himself for the playoffs. That bet seems to have paid off. The atmosphere in Thousand Oaks is electric right now. Players are walking with a different level of confidence. When you see your top weapon back in the huddle, it changes the psychological makeup of the entire roster. The coaching staff is currently reworking the script for the opening drives of the wildcard game to feature him early and often. They want to test that knee and hamstring immediately to show the world that he hasn't lost a step. It's been a long 3 weeks for the fans, filled with anxiety and speculation, but the SI.com reports and my own personal inquiries confirm that the drought is over. He is back, he is hungry, and he is ready to remind the league why the Rams traded for him in the first place. The journey through the NFC is never easy, but having your best tools available makes the path significantly more manageable. We are looking at a situation where the medical clearance came down late last night after a final battery of tests. The strength and conditioning coaches were looking for specific metrics regarding top-end speed and lateral cutting ability, and I'm told he exceeded the baseline requirements in every single category. This is the news that changes the landscape of the NFC playoffs. The Rams are no longer just a dangerous team, they are a complete team. As we look forward to the kickoff, the focus shifts to how much of the playbook he can handle after some time away, but given his veteran status and high football IQ, the expectation is a full workload. Expanding on the nature of the recovery, the hamstring injury was initially thought to be a grade 2 strain, which typically requires a 4 to 6 week recovery window. The fact that he is back in 3 weeks is a testament to his professional approach to rehabilitation. I'm told he was using advanced cryotherapy and hyperbaric chambers to accelerate the healing process. The knee issue was more about management and preventing compensatory injuries. The Rams medical staff, led by some of the best in the business, utilized data-driven approaches to monitor every single step he took on the treadmill and the practice field. Every ounce of pressure was measured. This level of detail is why the Rams have been so successful in getting their stars back for the big stage. The conversation within the locker room has been focused on this return for days. Even the defensive players are talking about how much harder it is to practice when they have to account for his presence on the scout team. This ripple effect is what separates the contenders from the pretenders. The star wide receiver's return is the spark this team needed after a grueling regular season that tested their depth and resolve. This is the moment where the season truly begins. The playoffs are a different animal, and the Rams just got their teeth back.
Now, let's break down what this actually looks like on the field from an analytical and strategic perspective, because this return isn't just about catching passes, it's about the gravity he creates. When you have a star wide receiver of this magnitude, he dictates coverage. Throughout the season, we saw defensive coordinators try everything from cloud coverage to bracket doubles to slow him down. When he was out of the lineup, those defenders were able to roam more freely, causing headaches for the Rams' younger pass catchers. Now, with him back on the perimeter, the middle of the field suddenly opens up. This is a massive win for the tight ends and the slot receivers, who have been fighting for space in congested lanes. From a salary cap perspective, the Rams have invested a significant portion of their resources into this specific wide receiver group. When you are paying top dollar for elite talent, the return on investment is measured in playoff wins. Having him available for the wildcard round justifies the aggressive moves the front office made. If he had remained on the sidelines, the questions about the trade and the contract would have started to mount. Instead, he has the opportunity to silence the critics on the biggest stage. Let's talk about the depth chart shuffle. With the star wide receiver returning to his rightful place as the #1 option, the secondary and tertiary targets can slide back into roles that better suit their skill sets. Players who were forced to play as WR1s can now feast against second and third string cornerbacks. This creates a mismatch nightmare for the opposing defensive coordinator. I spoke with a few league scouts this morning, and the consensus is that the Rams' offense becomes 40% more efficient in the red zone with him on the field. His ability to win one-on-one matchups in tight windows is something you simply cannot coach. Furthermore, look at the impact on the running game. If the defense has to keep two safeties deep to respect the deep threat of the star wide receiver, the Rams will see lighter boxes. This is music to the ears of the running backs in the offensive line. They can start to dictate the tempo of the game on the ground, setting up the play-action pass that Sean McVay loves so much. The synergy of this offense is restored. We also have to consider the leadership aspect. In the playoffs, young players often get caught up in the bright lights and the pressure. Having a veteran who has been in these battles before provides a stabilizing force in the huddle. He knows how to adjust his routes based on the leverage of the defender, and his chemistry with the quarterback is something that has been built over hundreds of reps. Even with a 3-week gap, that muscle memory doesn't just disappear. The Rams are looking at a situation where they can be much more aggressive with their play calling. They don't have to play safe football anymore. They can take those shots down the field that demoralize an opponent and flip the momentum in an instant. Looking at the future implications, a strong performance in this wildcard game could propel the Rams into a deep run. The NFC is wide open, and a healthy Rams team is a nightmare for any top seed. The coaching staff is likely looking at the film of their previous matchups to see exactly where he can exploit the opponent's weaknesses. I'm told the game plan involves several choice routes, where the star wide receiver can read the defender and make a break based on his veteran intuition. This level of trust between the quarterback and the receiver is what makes this duo so lethal. As we move closer to game day, the medical reports will continue to be monitored, but the expectation within the Rams organization is that he will not be on a snap count. They are going all in. They didn't bring him back just to be a decoy. They brought him back to be the focal point. This is the business of winning in the NFL. It's about having your stars align at the right time. The Rams have managed the clock perfectly, and now they are ready to reap the rewards of their patience and medical expertise. The league is officially on notice. The road to the Super Bowl just got a lot more complicated for everyone else in the NFC. We must also analyze the special teams impact. While he may not be returning punts, his presence on the field forces the opponent to consider their field position strategies more carefully. Every drive starts with the knowledge that the Rams can score from anywhere on the field. This psychological pressure is a hidden advantage that doesn't show up in the box score, but is felt by every coach on the opposite sideline. The Rams front office, led by Les Snead, has always been about making big swings, and this return is the culmination of one of those swings. They traded draft capital and cap space for this exact moment. If they can get a vintage performance out of their star wide receiver this weekend, the narrative surrounding the team's construction will shift from risky to genius. It's a fine line in this league, but the Rams have never been afraid to walk it. The focus remains on the health of the hamstring. In cold weather games or high-intensity playoff environments, those muscles are put under extreme stress. The Rams have prepared for this by implementing a specific warm-up routine that will start hours before the actual kickoff. They are leaving nothing to chance. This is the professional standard that Sean McVay has established in Los Angeles. The fans should be confident that the version of the star wide receiver they see on the field will be a version capable of winning games. This isn't a desperation move, it's a calculated return of a superstar.